Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to JoyNews Today. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle. We're on DTT because we're free to on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Coming up this afternoon, Greater Accra Minister serves notice of no habitation anymore at the ECOMOG Circle area as fire yesterday destroyed makeshift structures and some high-tension pylons, causing temporal power outages in parts of the capital.
It's unfortunate that they are living here under their circumstance, but I've instructed that nobody should live here anymore. Nobody, and we mean it.
More as the Ghana National Fire Service laments the lack of fire tenders in prime areas is frustrating firefighting in Accra. Also, court grants 200,000 bail to all 4 accused persons in the Tema Mpakadan train accident trial. We have details from the High Court where damage to the train has been pegged at $2.1 million. Plus, calls for single-use plastic to be banned completely in Ghana intensifies as group of eco-conscious citizens mount pressure on government to formulate a policy that will tackle the increasing spate of plastic pollution in Ghana.
To have a ban on single-use plastics, that is plastics that are used only once. You're going shopping, you take a recyclable bag with you.
We have more as experts warn of imminent crisis triggered by land degradation and illegal mining. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X Spaces at JoyNews on TV. My personal handle is @Denana Aisha. Please do stay for details. There'll be no more residency on this land. That's the directive from the Greater Accra Regional Minister Titus Glover to squatters who occupy the ECOMOG Circle at Kwame Nkrumah Circle area in the national capital. This comes after the fire there yesterday engulfed their makeshift structures, marking the second blaze to destroy the area in just 2 years. They told our reporter Michael Ashali in this report they have lost all their livelihoods in the fire and are appealing to the government and individuals for assistance in rebuilding their lives.
Ashes blanketed the ground, while scattered flames flickered amidst the charred remains. Smoke hung heavy in the air as remnants of the fire that razed more than 100 structures at a place popularly called ECOMOG near Circle Bus Terminal in Accra remained visible. Thomas was there when it all started.
We are there, we see fire is burning. Then told me that one of girl was cooking inside the room, was using gas.
Okay.
Where he forget that he was cooking.
Okay.
Then the fire got.
Okay.
It be that I hear from the girls.
Previously living on the edge in an unsanctioned area, these squatters are now homeless after the fire razed their makeshift stores.
I have a lot, my fridge, my things, and my money too.
Zara James is a Nigerian. She came to Ghana to make ends meet, but has lost it all to the inferno.
How much was in there?
31.
Come again?
31 million.
31 million Ghana cedis?
Yes.
Or just 3,100 cedis?
3,100 cedis.
Interesting. And what was that money to you?
It means a lot, but I don't have anything to say.
So you came to Ghana for what exactly?
To hustle, make money, and make my family proud.
How does this make you feel?
Heartbroken.
What are you going to do now?
I don't have any option.
Dennis Anthony has called this place home for just 7 months, forced to settle here after enduring a significant setback in life.
Oh, I've been here just only 7 months here. I've been here just only months. I couldn't take any of my things. By the time I came back, I went to work, I came back. My place was already burned out. It has reached different place. So As you are looking at me right now, I don't even have anything to wear. It's only this my down that I'm wearing. Yeah. The reason why we are staying here is just for the me time. You know, we are always also to save money and other things. But someone will be at the back saying this because he is not living here, and he's even living in a better place in a good condition. So because we don't have any place to go, we also come to shelter for here to save money and other things.
For nearly 4 hours and at least 5 fire tenders, personnel from the Ghana National Fire Service managed to bring the fire under control. Assistant Division Officer of the PR Department of the Fire Service, ADO1 Alex Kinati, says investigations will commence shortly.
The cause is not readily known yet. There might be different factors or causes of the fire. It could be illegal connection, it could be unattended cooking, it could even be arson as a result of territorial conflict. So we can't pinpoint for now. Once we are done, we'll do what we call salvaging and our investigation, and then we should be able to come up with a conclusive investigation at the end of the day.
Fire outbreaks here have become a regular occurrence. In February 2022, flames razed all the stalls in the area. The mayor of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly and the MCE for Koli Klote inspected the site and ordered for all squatters to be evicted.
We do not want to see any structure, any activity going on here.
We advise them to immediately look for alternative places and move to.
That order was flouted. For many of them, it's back to square one. After struggling to find shelter with their meager earnings, they have lost everything to the fire. They remain hopeful and are pleading for help.
But we are praying, hoping government should help us. That is the only thing I have to say.
Okay, great. But I didn't ask you, what really do you do here whilst you are trying to hustle?
I don't have anything at all. I don't have anything left, but I have God.
I mean, the question I want to ask the government is that, is it going to still continue letting people stay in here?
As the smoke clears and the extent of their losses sink in, the immediate challenge for many is finding shelter under the looming rain clouds and securing their next meal.
What they want right now is for government to come to their aid. For Joy News, Michael Ashale.
In February 2022, fire destroyed the same area, after which the residents were asked to evacuate, but that did not happen. After his visit to the area this morning, the regional minister was emphatic anyone who attempts to rebuild will be arrested.
On exactly 22nd of February 2022, there was a similar fire incident here that gutted all over the place, thinking that we'll learn lessons out of this. This morning coming here, you see the grid code transmission lines, a national asset. This fire that gutted the place, if it affected any of the lines, we're all gone. And I'm so sad that human beings are living under these pylons at the peril of their lives. It's unfortunate that they are living here under their circumstance, but I've instructed that nobody should live here anymore. Nobody. And we mean it. Because as regional minister and the regional security council, it is our duty to protect every life and property. So a gentleman, he said he's a chief around here. And I've told him that I'm pleading with him. We don't want these things to continue. We don't want any third fire. Therefore, they should prepare and leave. We'll make sure we put men on the ground to make sure nobody, and I mean nobody, lives here. I mean my words. And anybody who tries to rebuild will arrest the person and send him to court. That is the only instructions and the only advice that we can share with them. We share in their pain and their agony. But the most sad part of it is that I'm told here is like a red light, where women naked themselves. All kinds of funny behaviors here. It is unacceptable. This is totally unacceptable. We cannot do this. They are an empire, a zone in the region, doing what kind of things they like. This should not happen.
The Ghana National Fire Service says investigations has commenced into the cause of the fire, but is lamenting over the lack of fire tenders in prime areas in Accra, which is making their work difficult. Listen to a member of the communications team of the fire service, ADO1, Alex Kinati, expressing that worry.
15 years and counting. Government has made a promise to retool us with some new fire tenders. We know procurement processes are underway, but it's our worry that if there are any further delays in the procurement process, we don't know what we might encounter, because yesterday's fire, for instance, we directed 5 fire tenders to the scene. We couldn't have directed much more because we don't have enough fire tenders left. So once we divert, we bring in about 9 or 8 fire tenders. Then it means that if there's any other fire anywhere, we'll be lacking. Because as at that time, there was another fire at Dansoman Control yesterday at the same time when this fire was happening. And before that, there was fire at Legon, and then there was fire also at Wager. So you can imagine that we are constrained. So we have to be very creative in being able to allocate our fire tenders to attend to fire needs. So that's why we keep calling that we need retooling. I can mention some areas of fire tenders and how alarming it is. Dodowa, for instance, there's no fire tender. The fire tender has been out of commission for some months now. So whenever there's fire at Dodowa, the appliance moves from Ponkatamanso to go there. The alarming one is that from Achimota to Nsawumi, there's no functional fire tender there as of now. The fire tender at Amasaman is out of commission. Fire tender at Ajin Kotoku is out of commission. So if there's any fire at Amasaman, probably Pobiman Tobooth, the appliance would have to move all the way from Anya Market to go there. If there's fire at Nsawumi, the appliance will move all the way from Suhum to go there. On the stretch from Ayimensa all through to Ikropon, Ikrapim, Mampong, Okre, there's just one fire tender taking care of that whole stretch from Ayimensa all the way to Okre. So it's a devastating situation. And imagine as we were fighting the fire at Circle, if there was any similar incident happening anywhere which required more tenders, they would have had to call tenders all the way from Tema to come and augment. As of now, even the fire tender at Spintex, the whole of Spintex, is out of commission. So if there's any fire at Spintex, the appliance will move from motorway. That same motorway appliance is responding to fires at Ashaman, because Ashaman's tender is also out of commission.
As the world commemorates World Environment Day, environmental experts have issued a stern warning concerning impending ecological disasters linked to unchecked land degradation and rampant illegal mining activities in the country. According to experts, these twin crises may pose substantial threats if urgent remedial measures are not implemented. They are however cautioning authorities to take urgent steps before irreversible tipping points are reached, beyond which restoration may prove elusive. Nana Boachi Adam has more.
Land degradation resulting primarily from unsustainable farming practices, deforestation, urbanization, and industrial expansion is causing severe soil erosion, reduced agricultural productivity, and dwindling biodiversity. On the flip side, illegal mining continues to drive large-scale environmental damage across the country. Speaking at the KNUST's World Environment Day celebration, the chairman of the Otumfuo Foundation, Ohiniba Nana Boachi J, expressed worry about the wanton destruction of the environment.
We've replaced the virgin forest and cocoa production with illegal mining. The economic impact is very heavy and is felt in every corner of our country. It's leading to high inflation and very poor living conditions. Now, when we talk about the ecosystem, which includes the forest, the wetlands, and the ocean, these are all vital to life, and they are all facing very huge pressures from human activity, and it's leading to loss of biodiversity from rising temperatures.
Environmental journalist Erastus Asari Donko is worried about the extent of water pollution as a result of illegal mining activities.
I think at a point in our history as a country, we were committed towards fighting the environmental degradation and the devastation caused by illegal mining. But then at a point we have slipped, and now it's getting worse. I have on the ground heard issues like this is an election year, so government doesn't really want to offend the people by fighting this. But what we fail to understand is that what is going on our water bodies, the direct mining of gold on our water bodies, is criminal per our laws. We shouldn't be going to the extent where now even the police are watching people mine directly on the water body and engage in criminal activities. It is something that has to do with our very existence. And so we should all agree, both citizens, government, everybody should agree, we should understand that it's not about MPP, it's not about NDC. It is wrong, it is criminal, it is life-threatening, and we should find a way of stopping it.
Meanwhile, Professor Alexander Enin, an ecologist at KNUST, is warning of an imminent crisis triggered by land degradation and illegal mining.
Many of our, commodities come from the environment, isn't it? The timber. For a long time, we have been harvesting timber, for export. That's where we derive our livelihood, right? The other resources, the fish in the water. These are things that drive our economy. These are commodities that drive our economy. We sell them, we get money to develop our country. So if we are destroying, we keep on destroying our environment, our ecosystem the way we are doing now, what do you think is going to happen? The water bodies that have been degraded, there's no life in them now.
He has called for measures to be put in place to avert any catastrophe.
Then we need to enforce the laws. It is human nature. If there's no punishment, the person sees no punishment, what will force or compel the person to act? Okay, or to stop, something that he or she is doing that is not good or lawful. It is a law that, serves as a deterrent for people. So the law must be made to work. Corporate institutions that are responsible for the ensuring the enforcement of them must be supported.
For JoyNews, Nana Boache Dankwa Yadom, Kumasi.
Let's stick with the environment because single-use plastic must be banned completely in Ghana. That's a call from a group of eco-conscious citizens which is asking government to formulate a policy that will tackle the increasing spate of plastic pollution in Ghana. According to the UN Environment Programme, plastic pollution is a global problem with many countries grappling with proper management of the pollutant. As they await a drastic policy on single-use plastics, eco-conscious citizens have initiated plastic receptacles that will retrieve plastic waste from the environment. There's more in this report.
Plastic pollution remains a major challenge for Ghana's sanitation sector. According to the United Nations Environment Programme, plastic pollutants have created a global problem. Approximately 7 billion of the 9.2 billion tons of plastic produced between 1950 and 2017 became plastic waste, ending up in landfills or unregulated dump sites. Given this enormous challenge, a group of eco-conscious citizens say it is time to act. The group, in partnership with other organizations, have initiated receptacles that will seek to retrieve plastic waste from the environment. Awula Sawa is National Coordinator of the Eco-Conscious Citizens.
The idea is to help with plastic waste. I mean, we find plastic bottles everywhere, in your gutters, in your drains, on your pavements, and we don't even want it to go to the landfills because the landfills are getting full. So what we are saying is that separate your rubbish, put all the plastic bottles in this receptacle. So it's as simple as this. You just put the plastic bottle into the receptacle. And we have our lovely students from La Wireless cluster of schools. They've come here this morning. We've done a lot on World Environment Day on the theme, but in addition, we've learned about how to use the receptacle. So this receptacle will be wheeled outside every Wednesday for community members to just put their only plastic bottles into the receptacle.
The group is also introducing school children to the receptacle concept and hoping that the solution to this growing plastic menace will be intergenerational.
My name is Chantel. Today I've learned to do the right things in my community to make sure the environment is clean and healthy. I've learned that it's good to plant trees, it's good to do land restoration.
I've learned that protecting our environment will help our future. And I've also learned that when we don't leave the bottles and plastic bottles on the ground, it will ensure that our environment is clean and healthy for us.
But we're particular about what affects our immediate community, which is the littering. You all know that when it rains, Accra gets flooded, and most of the debris are plastic bottles and plastic bags. So we've got this community plastic receptacle where every Wednesday it will be in front of Asantesin Gardens in La, where the local community can put their plastic bags in there.
In the long term, eco-conscious citizens say they expect the government of Ghana to completely ban single-use plastics, just as some countries in East Africa have done.
We want to have a ban on single-use plastics. That is plastics that are used only once. You're going shopping, you take a recyclable bag with you, or a basket, anything, but you don't go and take plastic bags for your oranges, plastic bags for this, plastic bags for that. The country is choked with plastic bags. Our gutters are choked with plastic bags. And in fact, there's an initiative in July. It's No Plastic Bag Month. July is No Plastic Bag Month.
For now, the environmentalist group is hoping that with their receptacles, they will be able to retrieve as much plastic waste as they can from the environment. Teresa Dialysis report, read to you.
Despite the National Health Insurance Authority's directive to cover renal services, some patients at the Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital continue to bear the financial burden of their dialysis treatment. The NHIA, in its efforts to improve access to dialysis treatment, issued a directive to provide free renal services, including hemodialysis, to insured persons suffering from chronic kidney diseases. However, patients and hospital staff indicate that many individuals seeking these services at the Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital are still being asked to make payments towards their treatment. My colleague Nana Boache Yadom has been monitoring the situation for us. He joins us from the Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital. Nana Boache Yadom, what is the condition of some of the patients you spoke to? Right, we'll get Nana Boache Yadom back to tell us more from the Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital. Let's come back to Accra, where state prosecutors have told an Accra High Court that evaluators from Poland have determined how much it will cost the state to repair the rigged train after detailed assessment. In court on Thursday, the state withdrew an earlier charge sheet and replaced same with a new one. In the new charge sheet laid before the court, the prosecution stated that the first accused on the day of the accident bought some concrete blocks at Juopong in the Volta region and transported same to Abutia, also in the Volta region. After dispatching the blocks according to the state, the accused persons decided to cross the railway as a shortcut and so packed stones on the section of the railway to enable the truck to cross. But unfortunately, the truck got stuck when it attempted to cross the rail line. Coincidentally, the Railway Authority was conducting a test run of the train on the same rail line at that moment. That, according to the state, caused the accident and damage to the train up to the tune of 2,138,466. The four accused persons have been slapped with 4 counts, including using a railway line in breach of the Railway Act, aiding in endangering persons in the train using the railway line, contrary to the Railway Act, unlawfully placing stones in the railway line, contrary to the Railway Act, and the causing of unlawful damage. They've all pleaded not guilty to the 4 counts. Despite a push by the state for the accused persons to be remanded in Nsawam prison, the court has granted the 4 accused persons a 200,000 bail with 1 surety to be justified. The case has been adjourned to June 27. There's more we'll be bringing your way from the High Court, where the minority leader to Forson's case is also being heard. We'll bring you all of that in our subsequent bulletins. Right now, let's go back to the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital, where Nana Boakye-Yiadom is standing by for us. Nana Boakye-Yiadom, the people you spoke with, what's their condition?
Well, Aisha, a lot of these patients here at the Komfo-Anokye Renal unit came in with the expectation of having some free dialysis treatment upon the directive issued by the NHIA. But then when we got to speak to some of them, including the staff here, these patients, especially those coming in for hemodialysis treatment, are paying or bearing the financial burden of their treatment today. Some of them who came in earlier were expecting the treatment to be free. But then when they spoke to the nurse in charge or the director in charge of the renal service or the renal unit of the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital, the directive they have is that patients who still come in for dialysis treatment are expected to pay for their own dialysis services. This is because management have not directly communicated to the renal unit of the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital. We've tried our best to also get management to speak upon this issue, but then the patients, as we speak, some of them who are still at the renal unit are stranded, and they are calling on the NHIA to swiftly intervene since they have issued a directive for these patients to go through free dialysis treatment.
Nana Boakye-Yiadom, what do they want the NIA to do about this situation?
Well, since the NIA has issued a directive for the renal units of the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital and other hospitals to make dialysis services free for these patients, they're expecting the directive, they're expecting the unit to comply with the directive. If the unit is not complying, then the NHIA would swiftly have to intervene for them to have the free dialysis treatment as issued by the NHIA itself.
Nana Boakye-Yiadom, with those updates from the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital, is something we'll follow up and definitely bring our viewers updates on it. Now, some residents still in Kumasi have expressed various sentiments as speculations grow regarding the possible selection of an Ashanti running mate for the New Patriotic Party's flag bearer, Dr. Mamadou Bawumia. While many individuals express excitement about the speculated choice, others express reservations about the decision. Political scientist Dr. Amacho Boateng is, however, optimistic the selection of a running mate from the Ashanti region is what will augur well for the NPP. Nana Boakye-Yiadom once more.
A very crucial moment for the New Patriotic Party as demand grows on its flag bearer, Dr. Mamadou Bawumia, to select a running mate who hails from the Ashanti region. Well, some names that have popped up include the Member of Parliament for Mensah South and Energy Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, the Education Minister and Member of Parliament for the Bosomtwe constituency, Dr. Osei Yaw Educhum, and not forgetting the Chief of Staff, Frema Osei Opare. Well, these choices would support the ticket of the flag bearer into the crucial 2024 presidential election.
There has been increasing expectation for an announcement of running mate for NPP flag bearer Dr. Mamadou Bawumia. The pressure comes particularly from the Ashanti region, asking for its representation on the presidential ticket. While many express excitement about the speculated consideration, others underscore the need for careful deliberation when choosing candidates.
Looking at the choice of presidential candidate they have and the current economic situations we have in Ghana, MPP has no choice than to pick a running mate from the Ashanti region. And because it is already, we have the Akan faction, that conversation that says that the MPP is more of an Akan. To play very safe for the MPP, they have no other option than to pick a running mate from the Ashanti region.
It is a free Ashanti region, a free different region. Next way, nipa oba, obet me a boom my name and what ya, any problem. Midday and Fifi, Nina and Carry. Ebi so baby should bet me about Abian and Bama should bet me about Abian and name see a baby will be owning the anymore. No mine to Yabe come on and no panic here.
According to political scientists at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Dr. Amachi Boateng, the decision is long overdue.
Whether I see a potential running mate from Ashanti region, I don't think twice about that. I don't blink my eyes to say that the running mate is coming from Ashanti region. You see, politics is essentially driven by interest. So if you go in there, the kingmakers in the MPP on this running mate issue, it's not necessarily something that Dr. Bawumia will have his own way. I like this man for ABC. I've presented him or her, and then they say, okay, we support you, let's move on. No. They all have vested interest in who, one, becomes the flag bearer, and then two, who becomes the running mate. They have vested interest.
Citing the current economic woes as a challenge for the MPP to break the eight, Dr. Amachi Boateng believes a well-represented Ashanti running mate is an important choice.
And so this disaffection in Ashanti region had to be addressed by the party. So the decision to pick, or the need for the party to pick the running mate from Ashanti region is dependent on the current situation here. They have to go out there to try to, send a very special message to the people of Ashanti region.
For voters and experts, a running mate from the Ashanti region, the World Bank of the NPP, could potentially strengthen party cohesion and solidify the party base. But can the choice really come from the Ashanti region? The flag bearer would have to decide. For Joy News, my name is Nana Boachi Dankwayado, Kumasi.
With the live on JoyNews Today, we're coming to you from our studios in Kokomlimni on the fan of the streets. Let's take a break. When we return, we'll bring you the very latest coming from the world of business.
Hi, good afternoon and welcome to the business news on JoyNews Today with me, Pius Kojo Baka. The Veterinary Services Directorate is calling on government to fast-track the review of the Disease Animal Act 1961. Now, according to the Greater Accra Regional Veterinary Director, Dr. Joseph Kofi Abo, stakeholders along the animal production value chain since 2010 have been requesting for an update of the Act to clearly define their roles to prevent the recurrent overlap of their duties. He was speaking at the launch of the World Food Safety Month ahead of the World Food Safety Day celebrated on June 7.
Animal health is a crucial element of food safety. Ensuring the well-being of animals in the food supply chain is essential to preventing foodborne diseases and safeguarding public health. It is for this reason the Veterinary Services Directorate of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture has launched World Food Safety Month. Speaking at the launch, Greater Accra Regional Veterinary Director Dr. Joseph Kofi Abu made an appeal for the acceleration of the passing of the Animal Health Act into law.
We have the Disease of Animal Act, that is 1961. It is very, very old and outdated. And we are working very hard to update it. We are saying that the Animal Health Bill is very, very critical for food security and public health. It has been long overdue. It has gone and came back due to some technicalities. So it started, as I said, since 2010 we decided to review it. It has been on and off, but as we are speaking, the draft is with the Attorney General, and we want them to speed it up so that it can go to Parliament for them to pass it.
A Deputy Director of the Veterinary Services Directorate, Dr. Geoffrey Akabwa, highlighted the role of the Directorate in ensuring food safety in the country.
The Veterinary Services Directorate carry out the above stated mandate through the following activities. 1, inspection and surveillance. 2, risk assessment and management. 3, traceability and documentation. 4, emergency preparedness. 5, training and sensitization.
In more business news, Executive Secretary of the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty Organization, Dr. Robert Floyd, has called for a continued global effort to enforce a comprehensive ban on nuclear testing. More in this report.
Recounting his visit to Hiroshima last year during the commemoration of the atomic bombing's anniversary, Executive Secretary of the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty Organization, Dr. Robert Floyd, shared a sad story of a child's shared tricycle found a kilometer away from the blast center. He underscored the unique devastation of nuclear weapons.
Just 600 meters above the ground, the largest, almost instantaneous obliteration of human life ever seen on Earth. Visiting the Peace Memorial Museum in Hiroshima now, you see photos of those affected. You think about things you don't want to be thinking about. You see things that were found after the explosion, things you cannot forget, including that tiny, charred tricycle, found a kilometre away from the blast centre. Many natural disasters and massacres down the centuries, but nothing like that.
He also highlighted the moral and policy threats that nuclear weapons still pose today, 79 years after Hiroshima.
I addressed the UN Security Council and I asked them, imagine a colossal cube of TNT explosive, 300 meters long, 300 meters wide, 300 meters high. All of TNT. Can you imagine that? A cube 300 meters high would actually be the second tallest building in the whole of Africa. That cube of TNT represents the explosive power of the biggest bomb ever exploded. Yet the bomb itself was just 8 meters long. So small, but so powerful. Today, 79 years after Hiroshima, nuclear weapons are still with us. The policy dilemmas and the moral dilemmas still with us.
And that's it for business. I am Pius Kojobaka. Sports is next.
Let's do sports now on JN Today with me, Haruna Mubarak. The Black Stars face a daunting challenge against Mali in the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Now, the Malians have lost just one of their last 15 matches in all competitions. However, head coach Otuado is optimistic about Ghana's chances in tonight's encounter.
Yeah, it's difficult to say. Surely we have a plan how we want to play. I think we observed them well. Almost all the players also play in the Ligue 1. They're very, very strong. So we have our ideas, but surely I can't tell what is our plan to win this match. I'm happy to be here. It's a very important match today for us. We are 1 point behind Mali, and we have to win. This will be the best to guarantee our chances to qualify for the World Cup. But we know it's going to be very, very tough. Mali has a very, very strong team. They showed recently in their games against Nigeria or Cote d'Ivoire how really good they are. They have a lot of young talents in their teams. And in the FIFA World Round list, they are above us. So Mali is a very good team. It's very, very difficult for us to beat them, but we have to try. They're 1 point above us. And we have a good team as well. In the FIFA World Round list, they are above us. So this shows how good and competitive they are. They showed in the last game against Nigeria how good they are. And also, even at AFCON when they played against Ivory Coast, they were very, very unlucky. So for us, it's a very, very strong team. But we have the possibility to still beat them. We also have a strong team and it's going to be an equal match.
Now, many of the Malian players compete in France's Ligue 1 and Ligue 2. Ghana defender Gideon Mensah, who plays for Auxerre in France and has faced many of these players, believes the Black Stars have what it takes to win tonight.
I will start this conversation by the fact that we are playing for World Cup, and we all know what World Cup means to us, the players, the country, Ghana, and so that alone should tell us that we are here to get the points and then to move on and then also qualify the whole nation and the whole team to the World Cup. So obviously we are here to work hard and then to work hard with everybody that is around us, the whole country, the fans and everyone to secure the 6 points and then we move on from there. Yeah, like you said, like your question, how well do I know them? Most of the players that play for Mali are players that I've been playing with, some against them and some in the same team. So I know them very well, and then I know that over the years they've been very consistent with their performance in the AFCON, even though they don't really go far as we want them to go, or they want to go. But yeah, we are also Ghana. If we're going to talk about football, then I don't think Mali is very close to Ghana when it comes to football. So if everybody here is willing to perform as the country and the coaches want us to perform, then I'm sure we will match them head to head. The conversation will not be about if we can match them. The conversation will rather be if they could match us.
And that's how we end the sports segment on JN Today. My name is Haruna Mubarak.
Good afternoon, welcome to the Showbiz segment with me, Jacqueline Ansama Yabua. Now for our first story, Ghanaian Afropop star can promise us a new note with his latest single, Favorite Story, debuting at number 47 on the Billboard US Afrobeat Songs chart. Now this track featuring rapper Sarkodie and rising star Olive the Boy is the only new entry in the global charts this week.
Can Promise has struck gold again with his new song Favorite Story. This tune featuring the magic of Sarkodie and the fresh vibes of Olive the Boy has climbed its way to number 47 on the Billboard US Afrobeat Song chart, making it the only new song to enter the chart this week. Favorite Story is a song that begins and ends with a nod to Kwabena Kwabena's classic hit, Aso. The song dives into the emotional roller coaster of disappointment in relationships, a theme that hits home for many listeners. Whilst Favorite Story is making waves, Tireless Water remains the reigning champ at number 1 for an incredible 34 weeks. But with King Promise's latest entry, it's clear the Afrobeat tide is rising fast. As fans jam to the True Self album by King Promise, it just proves that his musical journey is far from over, despite losing out on the coveted slot for the Artist of the Year 2024. For JoyNews, I am Jacqueline Ansama Yabua.
Well, Kanye West is firing back, announcing plans to come to sue his former assistant Lauren Pursuta after she accused him of sexual harassment and breach of contract some days ago. We have more in this report.
Yuta, a successful OnlyFans creator earning $1 million annually, claims Kanye West hired her in July 2021 to help with his fashion line and album Donda. She alleges that a year into the job, Kanye asked her to be godlike, delete her OnlyFans account, and promised to match her earnings from the platform, which she agreed to. However, Lauren says Kanye began sending her vulgar texts and videos, even performed sex acts during their phone calls. She claims she was abruptly fired in 2022 and never received her promised severance package. In a twist, Kanye's attorney released a statement claiming Lauren pursued the 46-year-old rapper sexually to secure employment and benefits. They argue she was fired for being unqualified and demanding an outrageous $4 million of annual salary. The statement also accuses Lauren of unhinged conduct, saying she used sexual coercion to demand money and luxury items including designer handbags and a Lamborghini. They further alleges that after Kanye rejected her advances, Lauren tried to blackmail him for $60 million. Kanye has now announced that he will be taking legal action against Lauren.
Well, it's another edition of Throwback Thursday, and today we put a spotlight on Stonebwoy, the Telecel Ghana Music Award Artist of the Year 2024. Now, let's take a trip down memory lane to some of his old hits that still resonate from Ghana to the international front.
Stonebwoy burst into the mainstream music scene in 2009 with his first official single, Climax, featuring Samini under the Samini Music record label. Since then, he has been thrilling Ghanaians with bangers like Wogbejeke, Might Lele, and many more. One of his standout tracks is Go Higher, a club banger from 2015. This song keeps you on the dance floor with its beats and powerful message. Never give up, even if people are bullying you. Another classic is Run Go, a perfect tune if you want a cool, laid-back reggae vibe. Going back 10 years, we have Not Again. This jam was a hit and remains a favorite for many.
Well, on that note, it's a wrap for the showbiz segment with me, Jacqueline and Sama Yeboah. Aisha? I know, right?
That's our wrap up the bulletin this afternoon. Thank you for bringing us showbiz. Log on to myjoyonline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. See you again at 2.